Goals, as I mentioned, make the unconscious conscious so that it can be acted upon, shift from victim of the drive to a healthy consumer of them or in control of them, strengthen the ego, manage those drives, and do a strong job there. Another really valuable contribution from Freud is his relationship components. And so we got transference, countertransference. These become important, and you'll talk about these quite a lot. This has really permeated the entire counseling field and is a part of all theories and things we're watching for. So in transference, the client relates toward the therapist based on significant relationship experiences in the past. And so the client becomes symbolic. I'm sorry. The therapist becomes symbolic of something in the client's history. And so Freud would say that's really, really good because we want to be a blank slate. We want to, in traditional psychoanalysis, they're on the couch, you're up and behind them so they can't see you, and so they're talking about things and sticking this stuff on you. You're the blank slate. In all of the other theories, when that happens, that becomes something important to talk about with the client. You want to visit with them about that because that is problematic. Countertransference, on the other hand, is the client becomes something symbolic in the therapist's history. And so, as is written here, the therapist relates unconsciously toward a client based on significant relationship experiences in the past. And so, if we're seeing in our clients something that's unresolved in us, that is a big problem. And so that's where supervision comes in for the clinical mental health folks and the student affairs, school counselors. Talk about it. You understand what's going on. If you can't get past it, better to refer the person on for help from someone else. Okay, just a couple of points here to finish up on. Contributions and limits. So I'm going to try to do this with all the theories to kind of help us understand what did they contribute, what's valuable in them, and what limits them. And so contributions first. It's the first talking cure. This is the first attempt at creating something that people will get a benefit from by talking. And so that's huge. That's absolutely huge. No more electrocution, no more lobotomies, no more leeches, no more bloodletting, all those kinds of things, demonic possession. There is an importance of early experiences. I think all of us could relate to, our experiences as a child taught us a lot about the world, that for most of us, our parents were there for us. We had caregivers when we cried. They fed us. They took care of our needs. And so we created some meaning to the world around those. Stages of growth. It gave us a growth process and helped us understand and see that there's a progression of people. And that was helpful. That was totally new. Unconscious processes, topography of the mind, that there's the conscious and the unconscious, that was groundbreaking. Drives are central to the theory here, and so all of us are motivated by things. We get cravings for foods, we get loneliness, and we'll choose going and doing something with someone else over sitting at home and writing a paper. It also understands the role of anxiety and kind of brings anxiety into the world. So those are, and help explain things as motivators. The limits, much in this theory is unobservable, therefore it's not really testable, and that really limits it. Any behavior can be explained in many ways. One of my main beefs with psychoanalysis is that it is, let's see, how do I want to put this? Whenever interpretation of someone's behaviors or thoughts or feelings comes in, I get worried. I get uncomfortable because that's where a lot of values can be imposed on others, and so interpretation and interpreting happens a lot in psychoanalysis, and so that's somewhat unsettling for me. There's also little direction from the counselor, which is probably why it takes so long, which would be another limitation that's not included here. And it's lastly, it's based really, really strongly on upper and middle class values. And so, folks, that covers that. And thanks so much for popping in. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.